What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JJD TV. I'm your host, Josh, and today we have a nice little transfer episode to bring to you guys. Talk about a few different storylines going on. One, why is the Malen deal basically holding up? Will it go through? Of course, mention Mino, because we know that's the reason why. We're also going to be talking about Marcus Thuram, who's been lightly linked to us in the last couple days. I'll speak to that a little bit. And of course, the ongoing Haaland transfer saga. It's one that we know is always going to be looked at. But the big thing with that is that Lewandowski has been softly linked to it as well. And yeah, so we're just going to get into that right away. We'll go to the chat first to say hello to everybody before we start talking about the actual transfers themselves. I'm here before you are. You are. Kudos, my friend. Kudos. BVB, please sign Ajax star Anthony and replace him with Sancho. I mean, I wouldn't be against signing either David Neres or Anthony. Both talented wingers. Both would be impressive signings for Borussia Dortmund. I haven't heard anything regarding those two players. I mean, the Ajax players are incredible. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with either one of them. But I haven't heard anything of them, so I can't really touch on them quite yet. A Malen transfer should be done in the upcoming weeks. We'll probably go for Thuram once the Haaland deal has done. So we'll get into it. We'll get into the first one. So the Malen update. So there's been a bunch of reports that have gone around, and if you guys aren't familiar, Donyell Malen was supposed to go to Borussia Dortmund. Personal terms have been agreed. However, there was a report going out there that basically in his PSV deal, a good chunk of money had to go to Mino Raiola. So if they bought Malen, for example, Borussia Dortmund bought Malen for 30 mil. 9 of that mil needed to go to Mino Raiola. So there was reports that PSV was then trying to up the price to 40 mil, so they would actually get about 30, and then Mino Raiola would probably get around 10. So those have been all over the place, and that obviously deteriorated the deal. But I think PSV know that Dortmund aren't going to spend that much money on our boy Donyell Malen. So again, my assumption is that PSV just have to suck it up. It's part of those deals that Mino is able to pull off in terms of adding those type of clauses in there. So if the deal does go through at 30, because I can promise you Dortmund are not going to spend the 40. Emmanuel Veth, he tweeted out as well, who's a very reliable source, saying that the deal will be somewhere between that 27 to 30 mark, and then Mino will get his cut, as he always does. But the deal should go through at that stage. But again, don't expect any major movement until the Jadon Sancho deal is complete. Until it's completely done and dusted, he's presented as a United player, money comes in, and then, of course, I think you'll see that Malen piece fall first, and then we'll look to a winger. So that is a little bit of the update on Malen. Of course, Mino's somewhere involved in there, but I don't think PSV have anything they can really do. I don't think anyone will spend up to 40 for him. I think that 30 is fair. The player himself, has also stated he wants to go to Dortmund. Liverpool is sniffing around a little bit, but I don't think that's where Malen wants to go. He sees Dortmund as the right step, as a lot of young players do. So I personally see the deal still going through. PSV obviously got shafted a little bit in that deal because of a little Mino sneaking around I don't need to get into it. But yeah, I see that. And then as for Marcus Thuram, so I've spoke to this a lot of times because a lot of people are asking me, guys, Josh, what do you think about Marco Rosa? Who would you want to see him bring from Gladbach to Dortmund? And the answer for me was I just wasn't even entertaining the idea. The way that Marco Rosa left Gladbach was not pretty. I mean, their season pretty much fell off a cliff when he was announced to be joining Borussia Dortmund at the end of the season, and that's pretty much what happened. So I don't see Gladbach being keen to not only do business with Dortmund again, but sell one of their best assets right to a direct rival to help Marco Rosa. Now, the signing would be nice. Marcus Thuram is an excellent winger. He could come in, he can play on the wings, and he can also do that dual job up front. If we didn't pull off the Donyell Malen signing, Marcus Thuram would have been a perfect signing. So I personally don't think that Thuram will happen, period. I don't think that Gladbach will play ball whatsoever, and he will not be joining. There's only 1 or 2 reports I've read, and contacts I had don't seem to think that it's going to be overly intense. But we'll see what you guys think. Do you think there is a chance that the Thuram deal could go through? Because I personally don't, and I've said it for a while. I don't see any Gladbach players coming over and joining Dortmund just for the sole reason of the Marco Rosa signing. But if you guys are just joining us here, be sure to drop a like and put your opinion in the chat on what you think is going to happen with the Malen deal and the Thuram deal, and I will get into it. Thuram and Madueke next summer, boys. I don't think Noni Madueke will join us. That is just, again, my personal opinion. I don't see us closing that deal. I think there was rumors that maybe it'd be done this summer, but I think by next summer, if he has a great breakout year for PSV, I don't know if Dortmund will be able to close the deal there. And of course, we'll get into the Timo Werner swap deal, which I've talked about before. It's laughable. Yusuf is here. He says, Yo, Josh, watch out for your bots. Your stream, they tried to raid the Bolcom streams. All right, fair. Bro, I'm not sure if we will get Malen. 40 mil is a lot. We will not sign Malen at 40 mil, guys. We will not. But again, the reports that I hear is that the deal will go through between 27 to 30. So yes, we will not sign 40. We will not sign Malen for 40. Dortmund, I think, would price themselves out of that. They barely want to spend 30. PSV was, I think, trying a last-ditched effort to get as much money as they could because of Mino's clause. But at 40, we're maxed out. But I think the deal still will go down at 30, and PSV will just have to eat that money they have to give to Renola. Renola is king of milking money out of his clients. Jorge Mendes comes close second. I wholeheartedly agree with that. I don't know why, but I really feel like Haaland might go to Chelsea this summer because they're adding Werner to the deal. Well, I mean, I strongly disagree. I would bet quite a bit of money that Erling Haaland will be a Borussia Dortmund player next summer. I don't see Timo Werner being any sort of deterring factor to turn Dortmund's head. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I mean, you don't want to lose Sancho and Haaland in the same summer. It's a bad look on the club. On top of that, you'll never be able to replace what Haaland will bring you. And even further along, no one knows exactly what that release clause is, guys. No one knows. I was told from a very legitimate source that it is more than 75. But that's as specific as I can get. So, I mean, it could be 100. 100 mil release clause, get another season out of him, score 35 goals. Fantastic. So, that's pretty much as easy as it is there. Hi Josh, not thrilled about the Thuram leaks. Well, you guys can relax because I wouldn't mind Marcus Thuram coming here, not at all. But in my opinion, he won't. I don't think any Gladbach player will join Dortmund this summer. But Thuram is an ideal type of profile player we're looking, but we won't get him. Zachary says, Josh, why wasn't Buchanan in your 4 starters for Canada's best 11? I don't remember exactly what you're talking about, Zachary, in terms of is the conversation I had with Pete, but I'm assuming because Buchanan just hasn't quite shined yet. So, I mean, when I did that conversation, because Buchanan is been incredible lately. Maybe it was a previous video or a previous conversation I had, but I mean, he's taken his game to another level, so I'm not sure. Are you talking? Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. You're talking about in terms of starters for Canada that's playing in the Gold Cup. And yes, Buchanan is one now. But before, I didn't have him in because Richie Larea was the right wing back and Davies was a left wing back. But now just swap out Larea with Buchanan and there you go. But that was why I'm assuming, and that's what you're talking about, Zach. Is Marcus Thuram a Malen alternative? Because I heard that he is cheaper and Dortmund don't want to pay 30 mil. I don't think he's an alternative. I think, again, he would be the wing. I think we would still sign Donyell Malen and Marcus Thuram. However, like I said, I want you guys to know that I'm fairly confident that the Thuram deal will not go through. But if it did, it didn't make a lot of sense to me to sign Malen. Marcus Thuram can play as a striker and he can play as a winger. Donyell Malen is really just a striker. Leon Bailey is really just a winger. So if you sign both of them, that's nice and ideal. If you sign Marcus Thuram, he can do both. He can do both. But the main reason I haven't talked about him before is because I feel like we burnt that bridge with Gladbach. And that's just my personal opinion. And even the articles I was reading around being linked to Marcus Thuram, it said, and it was pretty much bolded out, due to the way that we signed Marco Rosa, Gladbach are likely not to do business with Dortmund around Marcus Thuram. So I expect Marcus Thuram just to be maybe a linked option because of the Marco Rosa links, but I don't see it happening. Thuram's agent is Renola as well, and he spits on people. No, big no for me. Yeah, I don't see us. I mean, nothing to do with the agent, nothing to do with the player. I don't see us signing him because of probably Gladbach's probably a bit of bit of anger with Dortmund in the way that the Marco Rose deal went down. But, you know, my opinion, I don't think we need Thuram. If we get Malen, we need a winger. I agree, man. And for me, it's Malen, it's Bailey, it's end of story. Hey, Josh, do you think that we need to sign James Rodriguez to replace Sancho? Everton might sell. No. Rodriguez is not the winger we need, if you count him as a winger at all. I personally think that Rodriguez is best at a cam. We have plenty of cams. And he doesn't have that lightning pace that we need for wingers. So James Rodriguez should stay far away from Dortmund, and I don't think that we will look at him. We need a blistering pace on the wings. We need someone like Diaby, someone like Bailey, someone who brings a lot of pace, which is something that we desperately lack. And James Rodriguez is far from that. But even the two Ajax boys could be good looks as well. Do you think BVB will buy new midfielders if Delaney leaves? I personally don't. I think the Delaney money, if we sell Delaney, will be going towards wingers. I think our main target is getting Malen in, and then it's going to be getting someone like Bailey. And if we are short funds, we still need to get rid of Wolf. We need to get rid of Berkey, potentially Nico Schultz, and then if we really need some more money after that, with the Sancho money still, it's, I think, going to be Thomas Delaney. And we have depth, like I said. Witzel's coming back. We still have Jude. We still have Dahoud, and then we have Emre Can. And you got a young man in Toby Rashel who's killing it right now in preseason. So I see Delaney for them as a way to get some money, and then hopefully reinvest it in areas that we need, man. So that's what I personally see. Mukuku is back in training. Yes, he is. It is good to see. I lost where I was. The PSG guy will be the perfect replacement for Delaney. He will, but I don't think... I spoke to this in the episode we dropped this morning, that he'll get a ton of minutes, but he's already with first team training. But it's still said in a couple articles that he will more than likely play for the U19 and the U23s this year. But it looks like Marco Rose wants to get a look at him, and he may even be available for one of the friendlies against Atletico Bilbao or Bologna. So we'll have to see. Hey Josh, hope you're doing well. Heard that PSV is asking for 40 million for Malen. Isn't it better use for our options to have Haaland this season, I find, and sign someone like St. Just and Bailey? Yes. Just so you guys know, the deal will not go down at 40 mil. If PSV decide, because of Ranola's sneaky little contract, that we're not selling for less than 40, Dortmund's out. It's as simple as that. Dortmund, in my opinion, don't want to spend any more than 30. And I think the fact that Malen knows that he's not coming back to PSV know that Malen's not coming back. They want to sell, or they're forced to sell, but it won't be at 40. This deal will happen at 30, or this deal will not happen at all. And we'll have to, the ball really is in PSV's court. We're gonna have to see how they get on from there. We will take a 10 million L if we suck up PSV, and it's their fault to agree to those terms. Yep. And guys, do not panic. Do not panic. Like I said, it's either we sign him for what we want him at 30, or we don't sign him at all. That's fine. I want Malen to come, but if it's gonna be this hard to get him here, then maybe it's time to look elsewhere. Maybe it is time just to not worry about a striker this year. Give Mukuku minutes behind Haaland, and then go out and buy Leon Bailey. Go out and buy David Neres. Go out and buy Anthony, whoever it may be. Bring in the winger that we need. Bring in St. Just. Bring in Halsenberg. Get rid of Schultz. There could still be a silver lining. A lot of the money was going to Donyell Malen, who I am a fan of. I do really enjoy him, but I don't want to see this deal go through if it's going to basically be as difficult as it's supposed to be right now. How much will Ranola get from the Haaland deal? I don't like this. I have no idea. I don't know the contract situation there. I'm assuming he'd get a good chunk. Werner and cash for Haaland was denied by the Werner camp, but it would be more appealing to BVB than Tammy Abraham. Of course it would be. Tammy Abraham is not Dortmund material. He's not. He's like West Ham type material. But Werner, in my opinion, I would take him over Tammy Abraham, but I wouldn't take any deal regarding Haaland this year, period. And like I've said before, I truly don't think that Dortmund will. I can see it happening next summer, but definitely not this summer. Not like in Thuram. Let's get Tokyo. I would take him in a heartbeat as well. What happened to the Bailey rumors? They've died off, and that's a little worrying. But a lot of the ways that this goes is I think the rumors are going to be hot and heavy around Malen until a decision is made. I think these Malen rumors are going to keep surfacing until we either sign him, or BVB come out and Malen come out and PSV come out and say this deal is not going to happen. We can't agree on the terms. And then I see us going elsewhere. Timo Werner for Haaland is a big downgrade in my opinion. Timo should be loaned out to someone like Lyon or Villarreal. Potentially. I mean, yes, it would be a massive downgrade. There's no way around it. If we don't have Haaland, our striker has got a big hole in it now. Which is why I'm not even gonna go into those rumors, because the other rumors around Haaland is the fact that, I mean, there's a three-way flirting fest going on between Bayern, Chelsea, Dortmund, and it's around Lewandowski and it's around Haaland. And it's obviously that started out with Chelsea want Haaland. They're willing to offer Werner. They're willing to offer Callum Hudson-Odoi. They're willing to offer Tammy Abraham plus cash. And it's been pretty publicly rejected by pretty much all parties now that the deal will not happen and Haaland will stay at Dortmund. I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's going to happen. But now it's interesting enough seeing that, like I've pointed out before, Chelsea are now looking at Lewandowski for a short-term offer. They've looked to offer Callum Hudson-Odoi, Tammy Abraham, and Hakan Ziyech, which was quickly denied. But if Lewandowski were to leave to Chelsea, it's rumored that Bayern would then look for Haaland's release clause the following summer. So a lot of crazy rumors going around that. I'm not buying into that because I really don't see Bayern letting Lewandowski go. If the laughable approach of Chelsea is to offer Bayern Tammy Abraham, Callum Hudson-Odoi, or Ziyech, nothing's going to be done there. Nothing's going to be done. So I don't want to read too much into that, and I still don't believe Haaland would go to Bayern regardless, but that is a rumor that's going out there. But I want to try to reiterate, you guys should stay calm, because I think Haaland will be here next year. But if you're just joining us though, guys, be sure to drop a like, pump us over 30. As we read British Empire's comment, my 2021-2022 lineup: Haaland, Brandt, Royce, Malen, Bellingham, Dahoud, Guerrero, Hummel, St. Just, Meunier, Kobel. So I disagree with a good chunk of that. I'm trying to think of a tactic to make it work. Kobel is fine. Meunier's fine. If we sign St. Just, it's still fine. I would personally start a Kanji with Hummels before St. Just anyways, but that's just me. That's not bad. Guerrero left back, good. The issue comes in the midfield. Bellingham and Dahoud, in my opinion, are more 8s than 6s. I think you're going to need Witsel to get in there, but we did show that we've done it at the tail end of last year, being able to play both, but I don't think it's our strength. And then it's really the attacking players I got a big issue with is Royce at cam, right? I don't want really Malen on a wing, and I don't really want Brandt on a wing either, because Brandt, as we know, is useless on the wing. So my ideal one would be, I mean, you can play the 3-4-2-1, and it would be Kobel, Meunier at right wing back, St. Just outside right center back, Hummels, Akanji, Guerrero. Then your midfield two is Witsel with Dahoud or Bellingham. But you could, with the back three, you could also almost pull off a Bellingham Dahoud. And then you have your cams, Royce, and then I would do Gio over Brandt, and then Haaland up front. 4-2-3-1, you'd have to have Royce in the middle. If you're going with a center attacking mid on the wings, I would go Gio over Brandt. But arguably, I would go, hopefully, Bailey or some winger we sign with Hazard. And then again, that leaves both Gio and Brandt on the bench, which is what you just don't like to hear. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how we actually do line up. We should get Timo plus Kai for Haaland. Someone asked me the other day, what kind of deal would you like to see Haaland go to Chelsea? And I said the only deal I could see it being done is 150 mil plus Kai Havertz. Something so stupidly unfair that if Chelsea does it, we're sitting there laughing. Otherwise, no, I don't want to see him leave, and I don't think he should leave. We should get Chelsea's star players for Haaland alone. That's how vital he is. Yeah, but I mean, there's no one on that Chelsea squad I really want. So I don't know about you. I mean, we don't need Kai Havertz. He's not a natural striker. We have plenty of options in the middle if he's going to drop as a 10. And I don't personally rate Kai Havertz on the wing. And other than that, I mean, there's just not realistic options to see players come to Dortmund. There's just not a player on that team I'd want, which is why I think it's laughable when I see Tammy Abraham being tossed in the mix. Viva Americas here says, hey Josh, if Haaland does leave, how close is Mukuku to being a legit starter for Dortmund? I think he's still far away, and it's not the funnest thing to hear. Mukuku is 17, guys. He is not proven at this level yet. If we go into the season without Haaland and Mukuku's leading the line, we will be in trouble. It is as simple as that. More than likely, we'd sign Malen, and Malen would be the lead striker, but Mukuku needs time to develop. He needs to keep going. He needs to stay fit. He needs to try to get reps. I'm hoping this year something about 10 starts, maybe 20 plus from the bench. like 20 plus appearance in total from the bench, and then five or so goals. That's my expectations from Moukoko. I don't want to overhype him too much yet. He's still got a lot to learn. I don't think he's quite ready to take over Haaland's role at the top. And that is pretty much what I think there. But I'm convinced myself so far deep that Haaland is staying that it'd be baffling to me if he left. Rosa's looking at Thuram as a panic replacement if Malen deal falls through. That could be true, because I think a big reason why he wants Malen and a winger is so he can play his 4-1-2-1-2, his 3-4-1-2, and then the winger side is his 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. So if he gets Marcus Thuram, it is almost like two birds, one stone. You don't really need two separate players. Thuram can play up top as a dual 9 with Haaland, and he can play out on the wings. But I'd still prefer Malen and Bailey over Marcus Thuram. But money will talk. It will depend how the deals go through. But the biggest thing for me is I don't think Gladbach is willing to do business with us. I simply don't. I think Moukoko could be a legit starter in 2022, 2023. I don't know. We're going to have to see him in what he does this year. He's so young, guys. He's so young. He needs to basically have a season similar to Jude. I mean, Jude came in, he hit the ground running, he started, he's consistent, he's playing at the international level. Moukoko came in, he did some good bits from the bench, and then obviously the injury took him down a notch. You could arguably say that's kind of what happened to Zagadou. Had a lot of good minutes, got a lot of good looks. Injuries hamper players. But we'll have to see how he does coming back. London to Dallas, Sports Hub's tuned in. How you doing, my man? Hey, man, loving the stream. Cheers, my friend. Did a nice interview with him earlier, or it was yesterday. It was fun. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Any news on Leon Bailey? No, the rumors there have went quiet. But like I said, I think all attention right now is on Malen. I think that's where the focus is going to be until a decision is made. And then I think Winger's going to come in. But Zach said for context, yeah, the Gold Cup stream, you said 4 starters were playing but didn't say Buchanan. Well, Buchanan wasn't a starter before this. I mean, this is our first real look at Buchanan. And it's incredible to see how good he's got. And, I mean, if there's a Canadian player that Dortmund should target, it is Buchanan. He can play on the wing. He can play as a right back. He's just been incredible. But before the tournament started, he just hasn't had a look in the starting squad. And I wasn't convinced he could really do it at the right or left wing back spot. I thought he had to play a little further up the pitch. But he's killing it on the left-hand side. He's absolutely a starter for me over Richie Larea. So, but yeah, I do agree. Before the tournament started, he wasn't a starter for Canada. He absolutely is now, though. Does Marco Rosa have a release clause in his Dortmund contract? Not to my knowledge. Do you think BVB will buy a midfielder if Delaney leaves? Nope. I think Toby Rachel will be promoted. It's sad to see our relationship with Gladbach. I've always liked them. We've done a lot of business with them. Marco Reus, Thorgan Hazard, Dahoud. It's a lot of business with them. The way that those other deals went down was a more natural approach. This one was I don't think was overly liked by Gladbach, but Dortmund wanted their manager. They wanted him now. They got it done. And yeah, so that's why I don't think we'll see Thuram coming over anytime soon. Where were we? 140 million and Werner could be a hard thing to turn down, or just 175. I would turn down 175 in a heartbeat. I don't know. I personally would. Knowing that we're going to get 100 next year, probably. And we may offer Haaland a deal. It's not unrealistic, guys, to think that we could offer Haaland a deal, bump his wages up a little bit, and up his release clause to 120. It's possible. I'm not in the mood to lose Haaland and Sancho in the same summer. And if we want any chance at competing, guys, we need to keep them. And I will be as open and honest as I can be. If we lose Haaland, we won't win shit. So I'm sorry. That's as quickly and easy it is. He is that vital to this team. He's that vital to this league. He is going to be a world-class talent if he's not already there. And I just don't see our team basically doing it without him. Koulibaly, Kamara will probably be in the Super Cup role or Super Sub roles for Akanji and Hummels, so no place for Zagadou. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. Kamara will not be in the first squad, in my opinion. I think he's going to get some reps. Unless he blows up and shows that Jude Bellingham type quality, he could be up there. But for now, I think he's going to have more reps with the U23s, U19s. But, I mean, like I said, if he just kills it in preseason, you never know. Zagadou, I still think, has a place in this squad. I think giving Koulibaly the number 4 kit shows that if Zagadu's not careful, Koulibaly will overstep him. But Zagadou is probably still in the pecking order above Koulibaly and Kamara for now. And Kamara is better as a 6, and that is his natural position right now, even though he can drop back in the defense. Thuram is a good transfer. I also feel Dortmund should go for Neuhaus. Neuhaus is too expensive and is in a position where we don't need a ton of strengthening. And again, both players are great, though. I'm not going to deny that. But in my eyes, neither will be anywhere near coming to Dortmund, mainly because they are coming from Gladbach, and we kind of burnt that bridge. Mr. Carlson says, hello. Would you sell Delaney? In my opinion, he's one of the most important players in our squad. I have a video coming out this week, guys. I have 2 videos coming out this week. One is my Bundesliga predictions. That'll be fun. The Bundesliga predictions is always fun. And the other one is sell, keep, loan. So you guys will hear my opinion on all Dortmund players, whether I want to keep them, sell them, or loan them out. And those are the 2 videos coming out this week. So 2 fun ones we just shot with producer T. So I will wait to answer that question so you can watch me talk about it. Hi, bro. Which team do you think has a chance to win the Bundesliga other than Bayern? Dortmund. And then I'm not convinced anyone else does. I still think you'll hear more about it in my Bundesliga predictions. I think Leipzig will be up there because of Andre Silva. I still think there's a hole in their back line if they don't fill it with Maxence Lacroix. And of course, I'm not overly convinced on Jesse Marsch. He hasn't done it at this level before. We're going to have to see how he does. If he can hit the ground running, it's a very different mindset the way that he manages compared to Nagelsmann. So, I mean, Leipzig a bit of a wild card for me, guys. Bellingham, Rashel, Gerbis, and Kamara maybe manage to keep those guys, and our midfield is secure. Yep, a lot for the future, man. Rosa might give Rashel some playtime. He will, and I've said that too, man. The money's got to come from somewhere, and to me, the most, I guess, I don't know. I don't know, man. For me, I don't like to sound like a broken record, but it's Brandt. Brandt is an option for money if you're looking for it. And if you're not going to sell Brandt, if you're convinced we need 3 center attacking midfielders that will all be fighting for a formation that probably won't suit 3 attacking midfielders, it's Delaney. And if we need money, it's going to come from probably Delaney. So seeing Delaney leave will probably mean Rashel will get promoted and we won't basically replace him. Tell me the winger we are linked with, and do you see it happening except for Bailey? The only real winger we've been linked with that I've seen is technically Marcus Thuram, but the reports were not very good, and it also definitely specified that Gladbach probably won't be willing to sell. So right now, it's still quiet. I do personally believe Liam Bailey is in there, and I also think some of the reasons why the rumors have died down is because they're focused on the Malen deal, but also he's in the Gold Cup. So nothing can really get done anyways. So I'm expecting once the Sancho deal actually is 100% complete, watch the domino effect. Because I think we're going to get answers right away about what's going to happen with Malen. And I think we're going to get, hopefully, some potential wingers being linked to the club from here on in. Because I still think that the Malen deal will go through at 30 mil. And I think that there will be another winger coming in. They offered 50 million for Lewandowski. Premier League clubs are cheapskates. That's why I told Lyon or Villarreal, Werner's Real would be in the bin, and good season with a European contender like Lyon, Villarreal might boost his form. Yeah, I mean, I'd go Villarreal over Lyon because Villarreal will have the Champions League football, but I don't see really Werner leaving unless Chelsea do go out there and replace him adequately, but Werner's way too good for Lyon or Villarreal. He has one bad season. You forget that he was a star at Leipzig. You guys wait. I mean, I do think he was incredible at Leipzig. I really enjoyed watching him, but I don't know. I'm not convinced if he's going to have a good backup season or not. Malen has signed with us. Just saw it on Twitter. I'm assuming that was a prank. That's my assumption. Someone put it in our Discord. It looked legit, but I'm pretty sure it was a prank. So, to my knowledge, Malen has not signed for us. And if you see it on Twitter, just click on the account because I'm assuming, like I said, they were trolling. But I think Dahoud is at his best as a CDM. I don't. I think he can definitely drop back there because he's got that kind of ability. But I think the way that you're gonna get the best out of Dahoud and Bellingham is if you play like a 4-3-3. You have Witsel as your 6, and you have Dahoud and Bellingham as your 8s. I think that's where you find a lot of success. out of those two, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. But dude can drop deep. I'm not going to deny that because he's done it to effect last season when we had no other options. If Schultz goes, Halstenberg would be an amazing backup left back in CB while also being able to play in a back three. I agree, but the issue for Halstenberg is he lacks pace. This Dortmund squad has struggled with pace, and that's why I wanted to see St. Juice come in. I want to see Bailey come in. I want to see Malen come in because it would add a lot of pace to the midfield, to the defense, and to the attack. But Halstenberg is just good for a variety of reasons in terms of can cover he can play in a back four, he can play in a back three, he can play even as a left back and left wing back, but he's got no pace. And Guerrero's already a winger or a fullback there that's not rapidly fast. So I'd prefer, I'll take him because it seems like a good deal, 8 mil, cheap wages, but I would have preferred a quick defensive left back. But that's just my opinion. Angie says that Lewandowski is not going anywhere. Bayern wouldn't let him go anyways. And I wholeheartedly agree with that, which is why I think it's cute seeing the fact that Chelsea tried to offer Callum Hudson-Odoi and Tammy Abraham and 50 mil for Lewandowski. It's laughable is what it is. I don't think Lewandowski's going anywhere. I can almost promise you Haaland's not going anywhere. And I think that Chelsea's going to be stuck with what they got. 150 million plus Werner, I'd take. 200 cash, I'd take, nothing less. Maybe, but I still don't think that that Chelsea will be willing to spend that. But we'll have to see. Hey Josh, just joined the stream. What have I missed? You have missed that Malen is basically having some issues getting the deal done because of course, his agent. The reports say that the deal is going to now get bumped up to 40 because Mino's taken a good chunk of the transfer fee. But I'm trying to reiterate to you guys that the deal will not go through at 40. It will go through at 30 or it will not happen. So I still think that the deal will go through at 30. I think PSV we're just trying one last Hail Mary, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. All cash, no delays. Yeah, I don't want any Chelsea players. I don't want to see these pathetic little swap deals, but y'all going to get Zort if you believe Haaland is leaving Dortmund. Yeah, he's not, my man. He's staying, and that is a fact. If Thuram doesn't leave Gladbach this season, he can move to BVB next season. Maybe. It depends. I mean, the only way I could see Thuram going to Dortmund if he runs out his contract. That's my opinion. You can take it for what you want, but I don't see a way Dortmund and Gladbach sit down and get a deal together. I just don't think they're in the mood. To be honest, Rosa said that he won't take any players from Gladbach, and I don't see him wanting anyone from Gladbach right now. I personally think Thuram could have been a good option. If you can't get the Bailey or Malen deal done, he's a good look. Being a winger, being a striker, it's perfect. I just don't see it happening. Gladbach will bend over for us when Thuram tells them he wants to join us. I don't think so, man. I mean, the past indicates that if we want a Gladbach player, we certainly can get them. But I think that Gladbach will put their foot down. And if Marcus Thuram wants out, I think that they would try to sell him elsewhere. But again, my opinion. Why wouldn't Dortmund sell Haaland this year and get less next year? I don't know. Do you want to win something? Because that's as easy as it is. If we sell Haaland this year for 175, guess what? We're going to go a whole year right back to this point next year with zero, with nothing. Not a damn thing. And I'm not in the mood for it. I'm not. I don't care if we sell him for 175 this year or 75 next year, even though the release clause is rumored to be more. I want to win. I want to dethrone Bayern. That is what every Dortmund fan wants. That's what the players want. Hell, I'm pretty sure that's what Haaland wants. If we sell him now, we screw ourselves royally because we will not be able to replenish those squads unless somehow, some way a player comes in and just blows up, which odds are against that. We have one of the best upcoming, if not the best upcoming striker in world football. I want to enjoy him as much as I can with Dortmund. And also, as you Dortmund fans know, his replacement will be 30 mil. So, it doesn't matter if we sell him now or next summer, his replacement will be that 30 million type player. So I could care less how much money we may be losing out on. Dortmund know how to run this club properly. If they lose this money somewhere, they'll find it another way. And on top of that, we don't know what the release clause is. And we don't know that there's not a deal going behind closed doors that ups the release clause to 150, 120. We don't know these things. So I'm not in the mood to see him go. So that is exactly why I don't want to see Dortmund sell Haaland. And I believe that's why he won't leave. Even if we sell Haaland at 75 million, we are making at least 3 times what we paid. Also a fair point. But I can promise you, if and when he does go, it will be for more than 75. Bundesliga Fantasy League soon. Yes. Guys, someone go to me on Twitter. Right there. TV_JJD. Send me a league that you think that would be fun to go in. There's a few different ones, but I want to see what you guys think. It will be happening soon. We will be running our BVB, our Bundesliga Fantasy League throughout the channel. We have a new series coming to the channel too. Every Monday, or maybe Tuesday, depending on how long the weekend goes, we will be dropping an episode being the Bundesliga Roundup. We will be talking about all the results from the week. We will be then going on and doing my power rankings, 5 teams who I think are the hottest in the Bundesliga. And then we'll be taking a look at our Bundesliga JJD TV Fantasy League, which I hope all you guys will be able to participate in. I'm really excited for the new series as well, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you do, put a W in the chat or put an L or ask some questions about it. But that's a new series that we're going to be doing out through the course of the year. And I think it'll be fun just to go through and talk about all the different results. I love Borussia Dortmund, you guys know that, but I got a passion for the Bundesliga as well. And I think this is a cool little series to bring in that will just wrap everything up. Go through all the weekly results, talk about some cool news, maybe it's a couple transfers, roll over to my power rankings. I can hear about your power rankings as well. And then, of course, we're going to go to the Fantasy League, which is what we got to do. So if any of you guys out there have a Fantasy League you've played in that you've enjoyed, reach out to me on Twitter or Instagram and just send me a link to it. And then soon I'm going to drop it and hopefully we'll have some fun. And of course, the winner will get something. I haven't decided what it is yet. It may be a jersey. It may be something also that's cool. Maybe something to do with the club. I don't know. But it should be fun, man. I just hope that Bayern don't win again. Eurofootball is the same teams at the top for decades and decades. The financial model here doesn't happen. I agree with that. I hope that Dortmund can compete as well. Do you think holding Haaland is worth more than 40 million in lost revenue as opposed to selling him right away? Yeah, so I guess if you just obviously heard everything I just said just before that, yeah, I don't care. And like I said, I don't think Dortmund really will too. Just because it looks like we're losing 40 million on paper doesn't mean that we are. If we keep Haaland and we win the Bundesliga, we win the Pokal, maybe we have a deep run in the Champions League, that will easily make up your 40 million than losing one of the greatest talents that we've ever had and then having a mediocre third place season. Because you lose interest. Like, as the season caught up, I can tell you from experience, from running this channel, the views were higher. The excitement was higher. When we were hitting a streak, people were pissed. People were not excited about Dortmund. People wanted answers. So it should be fun, man. It should be fun, and that's the number one reason why I truly believe we won't sell him. Nor do I believe we should. You should dedicate some weekly videos to Bundesliga as a whole or North American players in the Bundesliga. We'd watch. Well, you took the words right out of my mouth, my man. There we go. Yeah, we are doing a weekly series around the Bundesliga as a whole. So we'll be touching on all kinds of stories throughout the Bundesliga as well. Have some fun plans for that. And hopefully that'll be a cool series that I'm excited to get started. Did you see that Jude Bellingham documentary? I did not. I'll have to watch that. I was thinking of maybe also doing something along the lines of like a 24-hour stream. Whether it's for charity, whether it's for other reasons, I haven't fully decided it yet, but I would like to watch the Gutsa documentary during it. Maybe now the Bellingham, but that's a work in progress. We'll get to it. What's up? I just want Halstenberg deal done. Halstenberg, it's an interesting one. One of the lower end transfers, but it could happen. Pathetic Chelsea players. You would take people saying, I didn't mean pathetic. They're Champions League winners. That's not fair to say pathetic. If I said pathetic, I didn't mean it as that. I meant pathetic offer. Like taking players in cash that is so undervalued to what Haaland's worth. It's a pathetic offer. Not pathetic players. This is the Champions League holders right now. So that's not what I meant. So I'm sorry if I said it like that. But Donyell Malen 2026 and Madueke 2023. Madueke will not be coming. That is a fact. But, you know, I think he's going to have a lot of fun at PSV this year for sure. Love your opinion on Haaland, bro. Strong mentality. It's just my opinion, man. I've been a fan of this club, as a lot of you guys have for a long time. I'm ready to win. I'm ready to win the Bundesliga. I really personally couldn't really care that much about. I love winning the Pokal because It's amazing to win because you want to win something regardless. I love Champions League runs as well. But if you're asking me what I want to win, it is the Bundesliga. And I just don't see us doing it without Haaland. Exactly, we don't know what's going to happen behind closed doors. Haaland may stay for 2 more years. Yep, he could. My honest opinion is he probably will leave next summer. But I don't see him leaving this summer. A custom JJD Fantasy League, and I see a bunch of W's, which is perfect. What app will we use? I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I want your guys' advice. So reach out to me on Twitter, Instagram, with recommendations of what you guys would like to see in terms of which league you want me to use. Totally open to any other ideas around that. What's your opinion on this theory that the MLS is a retirement league? I wouldn't say it's a retirement league. I'd say a big part of the way the MLS had to grow was to attract talent. And when you're an up-and-coming young league, at the beginning, it was hard to do so. So the way that they got David Beckham there was incredible, and it actually started turning some of the heads of people around the world. But looking at David Beckham's age, as well as some other players to follow suit that way, when you got Lampard, Gerrard, when you got Zlatan, even though Zlatan's a freak of nature, when you got all these different players going there that are aging out of their prime, aging out of their careers, it's hard to not make that connection to a retirement league. But I enjoy the MLS because it is getting better. You're seeing better talent being developed in the US, Canada as well. You also see a lot of young players wanting to join this league, specifically, in my opinion, from South America. A lot of young Argentinian players coming in, and some of them have gotten big moves away. Rossi from LAFC, wouldn't be surprised if he gets a big move. Almiron, who joined Newcastle, was a very talented player playing for Atlanta. So I'd say it started out a bit as a retirement league, but I think it's developing more just to a solid league, just well around. And people like the appeal of going to the US, which is why I think some big names, like Griezmann, wants to go to the MLS. It would be very surprising to me if one day he doesn't spend his remaining careers in LA, something like that. He's a big basketball guy. But it will always have good players that are aging, but it's a better league in my opinion. But I wouldn't say it's quite a retirement league. I've been waiting for some fantasy soccer. I like it, my man. I like it. Would be great for Bundesliga if they keep Haaland. I agree. It's not only important to Dortmund, but it's important to the league. Hey, Josh, what's up? I think if we can get Thuram, he's better, and here's why. Thuram is more physically, can play as a winger, sort of striker, and he's been Bundesliga experienced and works well with Rosa. I absolutely agree, and I said it's not the worst thing in the world if Malen and Bailey don't come. You'd save a good chunk of money. You'd bring in Marcus Thuram, who can do the winger/striker role. I just haven't looked too much into it because I seriously don't think that it's going to happen. I really don't. Just because of the relationship with Dortmund and Gladbach right now, because of the Marco Rosa deal. But, I mean, we've taken a lot of their players in the past. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But I don't see it personally happening. But I do take your points. What do you say if Dortmund was to try to sign Amo? I wouldn't be against it. Not. I don't know. It's hard. I don't really have a direct target in terms of the type of center back I'm looking for. I'm looking for someone with pace, and which is why right now St. Juice is just at the top of my priority charts. But I mean, he's going to be talented. He just won the U21 Euros. I believe he'll hopefully have a good shout at the Olympics. So I mean, I wouldn't be against it. I've been waiting like 6 years, bro. Where's my Bundesliga? I think that we will sign Madueke, even though money is a lot. I really see it happening because he's the hell would come from his father. So guys, I've spoken to a lot of people that are in the know in returns to Madueke. I can promise you he will not be joining Dortmund this summer. I can't speak to the future, but I personally don't see Madueke coming 100% this summer, and even further down the line, I still don't see him coming to Borussia Dortmund. But the much I can say is just this season's a no. Madueke will stay at PSV. He will get a lot more minutes, and he will grow the type of way he wants to. If we revisit this in a year's time, I can't really speak to that because I don't know what it will be. But that is my opinion. If we have to replace Haaland next year, who do you think would be a good potential replacement? Perhaps Moukoko or someone else. I think Moukoko will depend on how he does this season. I'm not convinced that he can play an entire season as a striker at his age. With his not that he's not an amazing talent, because we know he is, but he hasn't really proved it yet. Consistency. He needs to have a season like Jude Bellingham had. And if he broke out this year, then maybe. But no, I'm assuming if Haaland leaves, we would sign a replacement. If it's not Malen this summer, it will be someone next summer. Maybe we bring Luka Jovic back or something like that. But it won't be Moukoko, in my eyes, next summer. Next season. Unless he blows up this season, which again, I'm not expecting him to. Just because of the minutes will be restricted under Haaland and Malen. Like the video, guys. Cheers, James. I appreciate it, my man. I think the MLS is not a retirement league, but they definitely benefit from a lot of players like Lampard coming to it. Beckham, MLS nearly took them the bankruptcy to a solid league. I agree with that. Do you think that Luka Jovic would be a good Haaland replacement? Surely he knows to score in the Bundesliga. I'm a big fan of Luka Jovic. I wouldn't be against it by any stretch, but just haven't really heard much on it, so we'll have to wait and see. Josh shared the Bundesliga Fantasy app link with you on Twitter. You can check that out. Cheers, White, my man. I appreciate it. We'll get that thing started, and we'll share it on the community board, so be sure to keep an eye on that. It should be fun. You have a much better chance to get into the Champions League with Haaland, and that will give you a bonus instead of losing money. Haaland plus revenue on his merch. Yep, Angie gets it. Angie gets it. And yeah, just because it looks like you may make 50 mil more this summer, you probably won't. With everything that you would lose, the look on the team, Haaland won't be leaving. And I'm as confident as we should. I think we should sign Josh. You think BVB should sign me? We'll have to see. You know how. We'll see how it goes. We got some fun stuff coming up with them in terms of international fan groups for the Super Cup, so that should be fun. We'll see how it goes. Josh, you can say who for today we bought this summer, please. Players ideally that I'd like to see come in would be St. Juice and Halstenberg, as well as Bailey and Malen right now. It'll all depend. It will all depend on what happens with transfers out. And I see, honestly, probably Delaney going out. I see Wolf, Berkey, and then Nico Schultz. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Berardi would be a great Sancho replacement if Malen does not come. Renola, of course. It always goes back to him. Has some unrealistic expectations with salaries. He does, but in terms of the agreement with personal terms with Haaland, it seemed to be done. It just seems to be the transfer fee issue now with PSV because of a hidden Mino clause, as we all know. But Berardi is an excellent winger. If I wasn't looking at Bailey, I'd look at him. I really want to see a lot of pace being ejected into this squad. I would be fine with Berardi. I think he had an excellent Euros. Obviously now a Euro champion. Probably looking to leave the Serie A, but we'll have to wait. I'm definitely not against that by any stretch. Our club needs more ambitions. I don't like how our CEO publicly said that his plan in the next few years is to establish us as a top 10 or 12 club in the world. Well, I can say I'd argue that we are a top 10 or 12 club in the world. But again, I've talked about this a lot, guys, for us fans to manage our expectations around Borussia Dortmund. Because if you can't understand the club's model, it's hard to support them and be realistic about them. I'm very aware of how this club runs. And it's why I say things along the lines of I could care less of what we lose in terms of on face value of Haaland this summer versus next summer. I want to win. Because it's not unrealistic thinking that we could compete and win this Bundesliga, and then I don't know when the next one's coming. And that's the interesting part about supporting this. I do think the way that this club is run is being run properly, it's being run successfully, and hopefully we can get the pieces to fit and challenge for the title this year. U.S. players need MLS till they can get working visas at 18. I agree, it's a great league for young Americans. It absolutely is. Does Thuram spitting incident cause any kind of red flag to you? No. It doesn't for me, but again, I haven't really looked too much into the Thuram deal just because I just don't agree that it's gonna happen. I don't see a way it does. But I don't know. I mean, good players have done worse. I'm looking at you, Luis Suarez. So I don't know. Take that with a grain of salt. I mean, Josh doesn't have a knee injury. Here you go. Josh 2027. We're fine. Josh FIFA stream. Eventually, it will come. I will find a way to be consistent. Definitely, at least for the upcoming season. I've just had a little bit of issues, but sorry to disagree here. But what all clubs do you like apart from Dortmund? I don't know how you're disagreeing. Oh, to digress. I thought disagree. I started to disagree. I was like, I don't know how you disagree. I started to digress. No, that's okay. What other clubs do you like apart from Dortmund? I like a lot of different clubs just in terms of enjoyment purposes. If you can't tell behind me, right there, I live in Canada. I'm close to Toronto. If I want to watch a professional team live, it's Toronto FC. So they're my local club. They're a team I enjoy watching, enjoy supporting. And I'll always keep a little bit of my Canadian on screen, which is why their mini kits are hanging out there. In terms of clubs I enjoy watching, I really enjoy watching Napoli play. They're the team in Serie A who I like the most. I'm a big fan of Atletico Madrid, especially when it comes to Diego Simeone. I love passion, and I think passion and loyalty is something that draws me to teams I enjoy watching. Insigne drew me to Napoli. Diego Simeone and Koke drew me to Atletico Madrid. Royce obviously was a big draw to Dortmund. But I mean, when I started following Dortmund, I mean, he just joined, but watching him still grow as a skipper, being his hometown club and the love he has for him, it's just incredible to see. And loyalty just always really sticks out to me. So that's the reason, like, an Atletico is the team I enjoy watching. And I know they play ugly football, but they're always going to have a soft spot, as well as Napoli and, of course, Dortmund. And then the local teams. I mean, TFC. So those are a couple of teams that go in. But ever since we started doing the channel, I haven't watched those clubs near as much. I've been basically just BVB and also trying to do a lot of watches on different Bundesliga sides, because I like to watch our opposition to see how that means. But man, I live next to my hometown club stadium. That is sweet. I'm an hour and a half away from that. So I asked for players who we signed today, like Kamara. I asked for players who we signed today. We only signed one player today. We signed Kamara. I have a video on him if you want to check that video out but we haven't signed anyone else besides him today. We need to win the Bundesliga before we can start spending bigger. I agree. I still think that it's going to be a stretch to spend significantly, but I think winning the Bundesliga and being successful will help get a little bit more. But I'm curious to see. I think it'll be a good tell when Haaland does get sold how much we spend on his replacement. I can't wait for big clubs to sign the Italian players because they won the Euros, for them all to flop. I don't know if they're all going to flop. I think Locatelli is a pretty impressive one, man. Some matches with viewers on FIFA stream, Josh? Absolutely. I'm trying to find a way to get more consistent on Twitch, guys. I am definitely trying. So it will come. Definitely for the upcoming season, I'll have a little bit more time. And I'm going to try to stream a little bit more on Twitch continuously. I was waiting for Dahoud to get re-signed so I could go do our player career mode on him. But yeah, we'll do like a tournament, or we'll do something to engage the viewers as well. Which clubs do you think are ahead of Dortmund internationally? Well, in terms, I'm assuming just in general, maybe you're referring to just popularity. If you're referring to money, it's different. But I mean, United, Chelsea, Liverpool. I don't know about City. I mean, I don't think City's overly liked, but they're still a very worldwide club. PSG's up there. Madrid, Barca, Bayern, Juve. The Milans are flirting along the lines of BVB. It's cuts. Those are the type of teams that are in conversation with them. Atletico as well. But yeah, I mean, I have to sit down and really do a list on it. But those are the big hitters around the world that you guys know. The big six, even though I don't really think Tottenham is that worldwide, and City's still got question marks around them. But Arsenal's still a very popular club, even though they're not very good. Bayern is definitely a little bit more worldwide than Dortmund is. The three big hitters in La Liga are... The Italian clubs are a little interesting. I know that there's popularity in the Milans. Juve is very popular as well. And then PSG, just for the likes of signing good talent, makes them popular. But BVB should sign you as a CDM. I will be the keeper. Oh, we would put our team in trouble, my man. We would put our team in trouble. Madueke isn't coming. BVB isn't interested. And it has been said that PSV aren't selling awesome young world-class talent that don't play in the MLS. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Madueke, like I said, he's not coming. it did not seem to have, I mean, there seemed to be a little bit of interest, but it seemed to be quickly moved on. And I don't think PSV are in a need to sell him. And I don't think he's in a rush to go. He's got a big opportunity to be able to play consistently and get a lot of minutes. And that's why I think he's going to stay. FIFA stream on Saturdays. That would be the toughest day because that's when Dortmund usually play. My FIFA streams on Twitch would go probably Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. Josh, upgrade to the PS5, then I can play you. It's a lot of money, man. It's a lot of money, but I may. We will all miss Schalke. Not. We got Bochum now. We're fine. Talk about Malen. Malen for Liverpool or BVB. Malen will go to BVB in my opinion. Like I said earlier in the stream, if you guys haven't caught it, and just before I do, be sure to drop a like, pump us over 50, and I'll do a little recap quickly on Malen for our friend Danny here. And it's basically, to sum it up, is that the deal was supposed to go down between 27 mil and 30. PSV wanted closer to 30. Dortmund were trying to chintz it down as much as they could. And then the Mino clause came into effect, saying about 9 million of the transfer fee would go to Mino. And then there's reports that PSV upped the price to 40 so that they would still get 30 after giving Mino probably 9 or 10. Dortmund won't play ball with that. That link was sometimes also discredited. So take it of what you will. But in my opinion, PSV will suck it up. They will sell for about 30. And we will sign our boy Malen. And if they don't play ball, this deal will not go through because Dortmund will not spend over 30. That is a fact. And also on top of that, personal terms are agreed. So there's rumors of AR9, which I don't know if he's still in here, but saying that Dortmund were not willing to spend 250K on Malen. No crap. Like, that's obvious. So, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. It's 250K was the rumor. That's no way that was going to happen. It'd be closer to 100 in my assumption. And they said personal terms were agreed. So it's all about the transfer fee right now. And the number one thing I'm waiting to see is once the Sancho deal is done and dusted, is when we're going to get a real look of the type of players we're going to sign. Because I think the Malen deal could go just like that. And then we're going to probably hear rumors about the winger that may come in. And I don't think it's going to be Marcus Thuram, mainly because of the Gladbach little relationship issues we have with them. But we are going to have to wait and see. What's going on with Thuram? He's been linked to the club, but like viewers have spoken to, Marco Rose said he wasn't taking any Gladbach players. I don't think Gladbach will be keen to sell, especially the way that this Marco Rose deal went down. But on the flip side, Dortmund are known to be able to sneak Gladbach players. So take it as you will. We will definitely have to see. But if you're asking me, I don't see Thuram going anytime soon to BVB. Josh, do you do part-time YouTube? Yes, sort of. I mean, I was able to put myself in a position where I'm able to put a lot more time into the channel. We have some exciting stuff coming up along with partnering with Borussia Dortmund. The Super Cup is the first little instance to see how our relationship with Dortmund will hopefully continue to blossom. We're still their official international Twitch streamers, so once the season gets started, I'm sure we're going to do some more work over there. And yeah, I'm just kind of playing it by ear to see how the YouTube in relationship with Dortmund blossoms. But I still have a little part-time job on the side still, which allows me to put more time and effort into the channel, as well as putting some more time and effort into doing stuff with BVB. And yeah, we'll see how that blossoms. So, I mean, I'm definitely putting a lot more time in the channel than I originally was, just because I think that the relationship with Dortmund gave me the motivation I needed to go for it. Honduras Gold Cup champions. Oh, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Canada looking like they're struggling. Kyle Larin went down and is out of the Gold Cup, as is Akinola. So we're in pain. No. Yusuf says 2 months away from a BVB blackout badge. Hey, big shout out to the members on the channel. And for those of you guys who don't know, we had a contest going on for the month of July, where if you do a super chat or you become a member or you just are a member, you get entered into a draw. And the winner of that draw will win a kit of their choice. So Yusuf is in that draw. So big shout out to Yusuf, a member who's very close to the blackout badge, which is very, very cool, my man. Appreciate the support. I'm a Real Madrid and Dortmund fan, so you supporting Atleti is kind of a bummer. Anyways, upgrading, increasing depth is what positions do you think is a priority for the Bundesliga this season? Yeah, I mean, yeah. But like I said, I mean, I like loyalty in terms of players. I mean, money is a hard thing to reject. I think the Chinese Super League is the perfect example of that. I mean, Oscar going out there saying, I'd like to come back and play for Chelsea one year. What gives you the right to go to China, make millions of dollars, and then come back and play for Chelsea? You're not good enough anymore, my man. You wasted your way in a shitty league. It is as easy as that. So I find it impressive when players are able to turn down crazy amounts of money and stay loyal to who they love and what they love. So I don't know. That's the reason that drew me to Atletico. But for me, it's BVB. It's all BVB and a little TFC because it's my local team. But I do like watching and following other leagues, which is why I like to keep an eye on certain clubs. But yeah, I definitely like Atleti more than I like Madrid, my man. But we we're Dortmund fans, so we can find a way. But anyways, upgrading / increasing depth of positions. What do you think is our priority? Our priority easily is CB. We need a center back, whether it's St. Just, Halsenberg. We need to add an extra body in our two center backs because I'm not convinced by Zagadou. Collins, Koulibaly, still very young. And that just really leaves us with Emre Can, who I don't trust in the middle, and then Hummels Akanji. So I think adding St. Just in there would add some stability. Even Halsenberg would be pretty good in my eyes. And then we need depth on the wings / even a backup striker. I think that's something that if we get Malen and Bailey, I'm licking my lips going into this season because what has killed us before and in my opinion cost us a title was not having a proper center forward when Paco wasn't injured. When Paco was injured, we had Gutsa playing there. And then when Haaland was injured or wasn't available, we had Hazard or Royce or Brandt. Now we have someone like Malen in there. It's a breath of fresh air, and Bailey. So those are my targets. Center back, winger, striker. I think Dortmund is in top 12 to 15 teams in the world at the moment. I think that's fair, Angie. And I'd have to really take a look at all the teams before I could place them, but I agree. They're a very popular team worldwide. And they put a lot of effort into trying to relate more to the fans, which is awesome, which is why I have a partnership with them. So, big shout out to them. True, Dortmund is absolutely a top 15, no doubt. I agree. Josh, if you're going to do sometimes FIFA content like career, I will be a member. All right. I am. It will be on Twitch, though. It will definitely be on Twitch. That's my plan. Witsel played in China. He did. Witsel sold out. Witsel went from Standard Liège to Benfica, which is a good move. He then had a lot of interest, but then he chose the money in Russia. Then he chose the money in China. And I thought Witzel's career was going to end at that. And I was someone who followed the Chinese Super League very in-depthly, only because I was so baffled by seeing the amount of good players giving up their futures to go play in China. Witsel was one of them. So I was so happy when Dortmund ripped him out of Chinese Super League, brought him to Dortmund, almost won a league the first year. But if he would have stayed in China, man, he would have just whittled away to nothing. I don't blame Oscar. He grew up poor and wanted money for him and his family to live a good life. I did a debate in college on this. So, I mean, this is a good chat, man. If we want to get into it, maybe I'll do another stream about money and footballing because there's always two sides of the coin there. I've never been put in a position where I was offered the amount of money Oscar was offered. I was never put in that position. And I literally was on a debate. It was a debate. It was 1v1, me saying that basically the Chinese Super League players are selfish, I guess, or are greedy or whatever it was, and then the opposition came against me. And it was a really fun debate that me and a buddy did in college for a debate class. I won, whatever. But it's hard because, I mean, when you put it on terms of numbers, Oscar can make a crap load of money probably anywhere. Now, he'll never make what he made in China, but he's going to make enough in his career to be able to support his family for a while. He went out, and that's fine. But the thing that bothered me, and the reason I won the debate is, like I said, I owned up and said, I'm not been put in that position to see what Oscar would do if he went to China. But I put myself in a position to see how players basically went about it. And Oscar went to China with the goal of coming back to Europe. So he basically said, one sec, I'm right in my prime. I'm going to go over to China, make as much money as I possibly can suffocate from this league. And then I'm going to go see who's available. Maybe Chelsea, maybe Atletico Madrid. Someone will be interested in me. I'm so good. I didn't just waste 4 years in a garbage league. No offense to the Chinese Super League. It's not very fair, but it's not a very good league. So that was how I won the debate. Is that he didn't own up to it. He went over there saying, "No, it's a good league. Like I'm going to go over there. I'm going to learn a lot. I'm going to become better. I'm actually a better player now for going there." BS. You went over there to take the money, own up to it, and then if that's what you want to be, that's what you want your career to be known as a player who went to the Chinese Super League and sold out. By all means. But anyways, that's a different debate. But I almost lost it because when I was asked if you got asked that kind of money, what would you say? And I said I don't know, because I don't know. No one's ever flashed $450,000 a week in front of my face. But yeah, that's funny that we brought that conversation up because that was a debate class I had in college. Anyways, what do you think? Is there a chance that we sign Florian Wirtz? I would love to see him play at BVB shirt. I don't think there's a chance that we sign him anytime soon, but I do think there's a chance at some point if he's looking to move on from Leverkusen. Do you think if Terzic will be an assistant to Rosa or not? The promotion Terzic got was a technical director, and he can still be an assistant coach. So no, he won't be an assistant coach to Marco Rosa. He is just gonna be under his new role and will not be on the sidelines, which is an awesome way to keep him definitely involved. But let Marco Rosa kind of come in with the staff he wants. Oscar in China. Many of the Latinos, and they all think about money, and it's not surprising Oscar sold out. But yeah, I mean, he did grow up poor. He grew up with no money, but I mean, he's a professional athlete playing for Chelsea. I don't think there's a lot of issue, man. Chinese Super League is in the mud now. The champions went bankrupt. I know. It's a mess. They bit off way more than they could chew. Whole different debate, but it was a debate. It was a topic that fascinated me when I was in college. So, like I said, I did a debate class on the Chinese Super League. I did a couple of projects on the Chinese Super League. I just couldn't believe. I liked Oscar. I liked watching Oscar play. This is someone who played in a semifinal of a World Cup and scored a goal, albeit they lost 7-1. You get what I'm saying. And then he went over to the Chinese Super League to play for Shanghai something. I don't know. If we win a few titles, we can become a lot better. I don't care about Champions League right now. I want the Bundesliga. That is my main thing, man. So Kobel is going to be our main goalkeeper. Yes. Kobel will be our starter. Hitz will be our backup. And we will more than likely, hopefully, shift Berkey out because, I mean, we stripped him of his number 1 shirt. It's time for him to move on. Chinese Super League was good for Asia, to be honest. They gave players money and put some eyes to Asia. That's downfall. It's not good. It's not a good news. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it did to Asian football. I'm assuming getting those big names like Hulk and Paulinho and those type of players over to Asia is nothing but good for the league. But they strapped themselves so much with the amount of money they paid to these players because without paying it, they weren't going over there. And now teams are folding left, right, and center. The league's a bit of a mess. So it was interesting, but weird little topic. But I'm glad you guys brought it up because it's always cool to see the different debates about it because I'm not in that position. So I can't truthfully say if I was Oscar what I would or wouldn't do. I personally would want to play at the best level for as much as I can. And then at the end of your career, go over there and make a crap load of money. And in that debate, they said, well, what if you don't get that chance? So it was a good debate. It really was. It was a really fun debate doing it in school on this topic. But there are two sides to every coin. So I would never judge a player wholeheartedly because I don't know the whole story. I just thought Oscar was way too good and way too young to make this move to China. Should have played a lot longer. And then at some point, somewhere, he could have made bank at the end of his career. But I don't want to hear I went over there to get better and then I'm going to come back and join Chelsea. Because that's just not going to happen, man. Oscar, you're not the player you were when you went over there. And you're not going to come back to a best league anytime soon. Forlan and Roberto Carlos played in India. They did. But at the tail end of their career. If you would have saw Roberto Carlos go over to China when he was 26 years old, I think Roberto Carlos would be looked at a little bit differently than the Roberto Carlos we know now. So, but yeah, Oscar said he did it for his family. He did it for the money, which is for his family. So take of it what you will. Tell you what, Oscar will be very comfortable for his kids, his grandkids, his great-grandkids, for the amount of money he brought in from being in China. So kudos to you, Oscar. To me, you'll always be the guy who sold out for money. But if you're just chilling on the beach, richer than you could ever imagine, I don't think you'll give a crap what some random Canadian thinks of you. So there you go. Why does Tactical Manager's mom like more watch your streams than his? I don't know, man. Yes, loved them. Yep, it was cool. And MLS is the same kind of example. Getting in cool players like Beckham, Lampard, Gerrard. But again, tail end of their careers, man. 38 years old. Pirlo's playing over here, not 26. But I don't want to get into that. We got kind of off topic there. But it's a fun topic. It's a topic that makes it very interesting. But Oscar was in Chelsea. They gave him $100K to Danny Drinkwater. Yeah. Yeah, cool little topic. Maybe I'll do a video on it one day. But it's one, like I said, I got a little passionate about because I seriously did a project on it and a debate class on it in college. So Chinese Super League, the league I still keep an eye on till today. But yeah, if any of you Brazilians know who Ricardo Goulart is, another player who sold out at a very young age instead of going from Brazil to, same as Everton Ribeiro, instead of going from the Brazilian league to a top European squad, they chose to go to China. They chose to go to the UAE and gave up their promising careers. I remember when Maserati and Nesta were in my team. By the way, Del Piero scored his only goal in India at Chennai's own stadium. It was a beauty, but it was overshadowed by a corner kick. Or a corner spot goal. Yeah, no, and guys, I'm not against players going to leagues like that to help. Forlan, Carlos, Nesta, Del Piero, Lampard, Gerrard, all those players went to the leagues at the end of their career. It's a difference. They went over there to make a lot of money and to help the league grow, but they went there just because it's a different career path and their careers were whittling down. Someone like Oscar, for me, went at his prime and he gave up because he saw a big paycheck. He wanted it for his family, yes, but I don't know. To me, he sold out. He sold out. It's as easy as that. But I don't want to speak of that anymore. That'll be the last one today on that. And this will be the last question of the day. Before we wrap up today's stream, got a little off topic, but it was a fun debate, a few different perspectives, very interesting to read. I always enjoy doing that. How long do you reckon Royce will be playing until he retires, and who do you see becoming the next loyal player from the current squad? I think that the next loyal player will be Guerrero. I don't think Guerrero will be leaving anytime soon. I think he will stay here for a long, long time. Definitely the majority of his career. I think Royce will play till he's 34, 35 at a high level before he really declines due to deteriorating legs, injuries. And I think Royce's replacement will be Gio. But yeah, I'll do a couple more questions. We got off track here, but we definitely got off track here with the China thing. But I hope Mukuku becomes the next Royce. I hope so too. It'll be depending to see if he gets turned by money, by opportunities, but we'll have to wait and see. I think Guerrero has been here for a while already and will be here for some time as well. Oscar's case, he was earning more than 90% of the players. Yeah. But all right, this will be the final question of the day. This is the last one. Do you think clubs like Chelsea, PSG, and Man City bringing huge amounts of money and unbalanced financial structure are clubs ruining football? Their offers does question loyalty a lot of a player. I don't know if they're ruining football, but if you're a Bundesliga fan and you have a team in the Bundesliga like Dortmund or a club that abides by the 50+1 rule, it's a look that you don't follow, you don't really respect. But I mean, it's the way that football is, man. Money talks, rich owners talk, and I don't think that part will ever leave the game. But from what I am hearing, it will never really join the Bundesliga. So it's a league that we're all a part of, our community here, and it's cool to take that away. But I wouldn't say it's ruining football, but it's sometimes frustrating watching the amount of money they spend compared to BVB when you're a BVB supporter and you know you'll never sign that Mbappe. You know you'll never sign that, Kai Havertz at 100 mil. You know that, but it's part of living with it and enjoying what makes Borussia Dortmund, and that's what we try to do here in the community. So we're going to wrap up the stream for today, guys. I appreciate everyone tuning in once again, leaving a nice little debate when it came to Chinese Super League, which I thought was a little fun, getting your guys' opinions as well. Talked a little transfers, but we are going to end it here today, guys. So if you haven't already, be sure to drop a like on your way out. Subscribe if you guys are new, and